women's program. Girls, we are back into another grand final. It was a lot tighter than I thought it would be, but we got there. I'll start with you, Jacinta. I must admit, I was a little nervous at three-quarter time, but great teams find a way, I guess.
Yes, Dean, the Sunday, I'm just going to say today has been a much better day than it was yesterday. Those 2 hours were honestly hell. Actually, it began that hour before trying to get parking around Icon Park. That's actually what started the hell. And then I ended up getting a parking ticket. It was $122.
Oh,
But
that hurts.
I
That
just
hurts.
thought, you know what? I just have to go into a permit zone. I was going to miss the whole game. And then I took it to another level and said, I'll go permit zone right in front of the ground because if I'm going to cop it, I'll cop it. So
That's such a smart. Like, if you're gonna do it hard. I like
that's
that.
right. So I went
Yeah.
right in front of like gate 5, like I step out of there, and then I came back to a ticket. But you know what? I said we won, so it's all right. Oh,
Yeah.
it's okay. It's like I don't know. The damage seems really minimal, but yeah, no, unreal again. Dean, you not being that confident in the last quarter made me even sicker than I already was. As I said before, I was saying to my mate all through, actually, I think by about the second quarter, I was saying, I just want to sit in the car. I just want to go home. I don't want to do this anymore. And she was saying, you've never, ever been like this. And I said, we've never been behind like this. So, but yeah, overall, a happy Saturday night, a happy Sunday.
That's good to hear. And what I always do, Jacinta, for future reference, just park at the zoo. It's a 5-minute walk.
Oh
yeah,
good
that's a
one.
good idea.
Yeah, it's a $2 ticket if it's before 5 o'clock. After 5 o'clock, like next, the grand final is Saturday night, isn't it? So
Yeah.
so you can park there for free and just walk up.
Oh, it's only 5-minute walk. It feels longer. Oh, okay, well then maybe I should do that.
5 minutes.
Yeah,
5
it's
minutes
at
for
the Royal
Dean.
Park Station. It's at
Oh
Royal
yeah,
Park
that's
Station.
true. Dean
Yeah, but-
is super fit.
Yeah,
hey.
he's fit. He's coming off a 42K. I'm looking at his Strava data. He's doing like 4-minute Ks. I'm like, brother, you need to calm down.
Okay,
like,
well,
he's getting up early, and I'm looking at him like, God, I've not done anything. And then I go and look at my Strava data, and Dean's just casually punched out an 8K. I'm like, all right, Dean, calm down.
well, okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna have a look at that myself before I believe Dean. Then, all right.
No, but it's a good call, Dean. No, it's a good call to park there. I never even thought about that, to be honest. It's a smart move by you. It's a good tip for the North fans going in next week.
Are those gates still open? Like, because it's a night match next week.
They're open all the time. There's no gates there. It's just you just drive in and you just got a heap of parking there. So there's no issues. Give yourself 10 minutes if you want, but they're usually 5-10 minute walk and you're at the ground. So just walk up the road and you're pretty much there. So future reference, just
that was safe.
Instead of trying to find a parking next to the ground, because you had cricket games on at ovals there.
It was mental. And there was some like cycling convention rubbish. I was losing it. Nothing against cyclists, but I was just so angry. I was like plotting all of their demise. So yeah, okay. Yeah. Next week, I know now. Thank you, Dean.
That's all right, Jacinta. I'm here to help sometimes. Now, Claire. Now, I'm going to go back a few years, and the game we lost to Melbourne in the prelim. I don't know if you remember that in 2022.
I do. Yeah, I do.
Now, I don't know if you remember, we dominated that third quarter.
Yeah, pep it away.
The game was tight. I think it was like 17 inside 50 to 2 or something like that, and we didn't kick a goal in that quarter, and it ended up hurting us.
Yeah.
I felt Melbourne dominated the third quarter yesterday. They didn't kick a goal. I felt like this time round, and good teams will make you pay. And Melbourne did it to us in 2022, and I felt like we did it to them this time. So we did it in the last quarter as well. Clutch goal, Hogan Garner to finish off. It's amazing how different it's changed over the last 3 years, and the parallels similar to that. I found anyway, Claire, because. Maybe if Melbourne kicked a goal or two in that third quarter and got a couple of goals up, I don't know if we had it in us to get back into it, but worked out pretty well in the end.
Yeah, I think because they were peppering. I think they put on, I don't know how many behinds. There was a couple of rushed. The thing that got me the most nervous was when Tyler Hanks was running full tilt towards the goals. And a part of me was like, if she kicked that, it would have sunk our hearts a little bit. And I think... Yeah, I think it would have changed a lot about the game, and I think that's that's footy, right? There's a lot of ebbs and flows. There's a lot of, half chances and moments you either take or that they kind of fall away. And I do remember, thinking about that Tyler Hanks moment and how if she pinned back the ears and hit that, I think we would have been in a world of pain, because I think, 6 points, a goal is not a lot when you think about it. It's not a hard mountain to climb, and they were all over us all that third quarter. They were just they were ruthless. They were hitting their targets. I remember Riley Witherspoon. She got this amazing inside kick. She looked like Tess Craven off 1 foot. She just this amazing inside kick that no one else could see, and she hit up a really good target just inside 50 to kind of shift the ball laterally and then find the inside handball into, I think, Hanks, and it was just really well executed. And they just weren't able to finish off, unfortunately. Like, if you're a D's fan waking up today, you'd be pretty. Look, you'd be incredibly happy with the effort that they put in, but I think there's a lot of stuff, a lot of missed opportunities that you reflect in little bits and moments of the game. You're like, oh, if we just had got this right, and if we just had pressed here, or if we just had taken that mark and done this and done that. So, I mean, look, full credit to them. I think that's probably in the 2 years, like we're on 26 games now that we've won in a row, which is absolutely phenomenal when you think about it. I think that's the most that we've probably, and I know we drew to Geelong, but that was a very long time ago now. I think that's the most that we've ever been challenged. I think they were really good at playing. I mean, they had that sort of defensive setup. They were taking a lot of intercept marks, like you said. They played really good football, and it was amazing to watch. I mean, it was pretty eerie. Off air, I was talking to you guys about I had a very different way of watching the prelim. I was at a hens party, and then 3/4 time I jumped in an Uber and I said, "Nah, I'm going." I was close enough. I was about an 8-minute drive from Icon, so I got into the Uber. I walked into Icon Park at 3/4 time, and there was a bit of a hush over the crowd. Like, it was just a bit eerie. Like, these supporters were like, "Okay, well, we've done well, and we've we've really rattled North and we've really challenged them, but can we hold on for one last quarter?" And then on the opposite side, you had North supporters like us who were very gobsmacked about what had taken place over 3 quarters. So it was really weird. There was a lot of electric feelings, there was a lot of emotions, but it just felt very hushed. Everyone was sort of nervous, waiting for things to happen. But I think, North dominated the 4th quarter. Like, as soon as kind of we were peppering away at the goals, I think we had a couple of behinds ourselves. Ashra Dell got a set shot. She kind of didn't make the distance, and then we set up again. I think Taylor Gatt had one of those incredible intercept marks. Did you guys see? Was it Taylor Gatt?
Yeah,
that
it was her.
Incredible. That was just and so I think good teams take their opportunities, and that's what North did in the last quarter. We played really aggressive. We played like we had nothing to lose, and realistically, that's a prelim final. You lay everything out there, and Captain Garner, Clutch Garner, stood up. 12 possessions, or disposals rather, 4 goal involvements, 4 clearances, and a goal herself. So, she put us on her back and carried us, and it was incredible to watch, and I'll never forget it. Like, obviously, last year's grand final was the greatest thing in the world, but I would say that's a close second for me. And
I agree.
That was just really good, tough, hard football. So, extremely proud of the girls, and I hope that I hope that they have the opportunity to soak it all in. Like, I know, obviously, you're going to grand final week, and it's all about preparations, but I think that was a phenomenal win in our history of our club. So I hope that they can, absorb that and soak it in, because I know I have for the last 24 hours. So hopefully they're enjoying it too,
Yeah, Claire, you sound like you're still a bit drunk, but that's...
Oh, jeez.
no, I'm just staring.
No. I look, would I drive at the moment? No. But,
No.
but that being said, I've had enough KFC it's tied me over, as it were. So we're all good.
Oh, sounds good. Now, Limbus came in and she sort of said she was having flashbacks to that game and used the ball very well, but their game plan only worked because our girls kept bombing it long to aerial contests. It felt like a bit of the men's program there for a little bit. I don't know if that was right. It was just kicking the ball over the forwards' heads and yeah, Chaplin was fantastic. Yeah, had a big influence, 10 intercept possessions, and a couple of others that did very well in that back half. But in the end, weighted numbers got us over the line. But do you think the D's exposed us in anything, Jacinta? I thought they were outstanding early. I mean, they obviously jumped us, but their process and the fact we didn't panic and got the game back on our terms pretty quickly is a sign of strength. And it was an arm wrestle after that time, but I guess you just have to find a way in the end, like Claire said, I guess.
Yeah, I think they definitely went to work on us, which was I mean, you would like to think that every club does that, but it seems like every other club's solution is just to throw numbers behind the ball and damage control it. But I guess in a prelim you can't really do that. So yeah, I think that they probably worked out that if the ball doesn't go to ground or Randall or I mean Sheila wasn't even forward that much, that forward line gets really nullified. So I think they kind of dominated the airspace, and then we kind of had trouble. And Randall was getting outmarked, which just doesn't happen. And Emma
Yeah.
King couldn't get a glove on it. It was It's not something that happens very often to us. So it's not a strategy that I would rely on if you're Melbourne. You're not going to probably try that one again. But yeah, I think in that last quarter we kind of got the ball to ground. So then O'Loughlin and Wall and Bogue, they just look so dangerous. So that would probably be the only thing that they probably did work out. And I also think it was like they used like our defensive wall against us. Like we couldn't get the ball out of the back 50. They had set up the wall that we usually do, and they just kept pinging back in, especially in that third quarter. It was just like looking at a mirror, honestly, the way they set up. So I think we can probably expect next year a lot of clubs will do that, which I mean, for the good of the game, they should. They should actually try and have some defensive structures in there. But yeah, overall, I think it would be hard to get the strategy that they put. Like, if Brisbane tried it against us, I think we're more than ready for it now. So, and you could see that the girls were figuring it out as the game went on. Like, you could see even Carney directing them, just thinking, like, you could see that she was trying to, I don't know, get through the web. Like, you could see that she was trying to figure it out. So I'm not that worried about that one. I mean, obviously Brisbane could come up with something else, but that one I don't think will work again.
I don't think Brisbane have the. I think
Personnel.
I don't think they have the
That's
personnel.
true.
I think they'll look at the blueprint. I think
Yeah.
they'll see what they've done and they're okay. Well, how do we expose? But then I also think the benefit of playing Melbourne yesterday was it's a good finals tune-up, and it exposes things that we obviously have to react to as well. Like for me, we've reached nearly we've climbed Everest. We're really towards that top 10% that we need to kind of just climb now. And I think Melbourne they were really good at switching between quick movement or very slow and precise play of hitting up Taylor Harris or going to a tall or finding an inside handball to overlap. Like, I thought they were very good at knowing when to go or when to kind of stop. And I don't think Brisbane have that same poise and composure. Like, I think, and I know that Melbourne lost to Brisbane, and I understand that. I'm not here to downplay the skill level of Brisbane, but I just think Melbourne, when they're on and where they're at full tilt, I think they are the better team compared to Brisbane. I just think that, we were. They even played their wings, like McNamara. I was worried about McNamara the most, Eliza McNamara, and she was incredible. Like, normally we were able to get a bit more width and a little bit more outside run and carry from O'Shea, from Gat, from Craven. But I thought that Melbourne clamped down really hard on that and did a really good job of kind of curtailing it. So full credit to them. But I don't know whether Brisbane will have the capacity and the personnel to do what Melbourne did to us, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I, to be honest, if Melbourne had that full strength team in that round one game, if Chaplin plays and Edith Zanker doesn't go off in the first quarter with a concussion, they would have knocked off Brisbane.
Yeah.
That's what hurt him. I mean, with the influence Chaplin had yesterday, to miss out on that in the first final, that would have been a difference. And Melbourne kicked inaccurate that day. The Lions kicked accurate. A lot of things went their way.
Yeah.
So I think that makes a bit of difference. Yeah, they don't have the same personnel in that back half in particular.
Yeah.
the Lions. But yeah, I mean, it's not a bad back line. Don't get me wrong, but
No.
yeah, it's not. It's probably the same level of Melbourne. So, uh, in saying that, look, did a few positional changes throw us a little bit? Sheila went back. Sheeran comes into the team, goes straight into the middle. It pushed Ballot Eddie out of the middle as well. Do you think that was a bit risky going into the game where there was no tomorrow if we did fall short?
Yes. I mean, I get the thinking. I guess maybe it turned out that we maybe outsmarted ourselves a little bit. Like I think Sheila was probably I mean, I do get it. Like in a final, it's hard to get the key forwards involved. So I get why they thought let's just chuck her back. But I think it was probably more a lever we should have pulled if we were getting into some trouble. And I mean, I know we were in trouble in that first quarter, but it wasn't because of any pack marks or anything that they were doing that Sheila could have actually influenced. I don't think that. I mean, I get what you're saying about Bella Eddie being pushed out a little bit because Sheeran, but I don't know. Sheeran was so good in that first quarter. It's hard to say anything bad about that. But yeah, I think we were probably maybe a little bit too proactive, which is an odd thing to, I guess, complain about. But I guess they threw Sheila forward again in that last quarter, so it sorted itself out, I guess.
Yeah, she did look a lot better up forward.
Yeah.
And a forward line did look a lot more mobile when she did go forward. And probably we took Emma King out of there, who probably struggled a little bit. Claire, I like Sheeran in the middle of the ground. She's a tough, physical, and courageous player. We've seen that back and back into a pack in the third quarter. And we did look better when Sheila went forward, didn't we, Claire?
Yeah, absolutely. It is one of those cases where I think it's going to be hard. If Mia King's fit, this is going to be a very hard decision to make. At the moment, to my knowledge, we don't know where her fitness stands. She's obviously doing everything possible to make sure she's cherry right for a grand final, but it's also like, she's missed. Oh, I also think going back to the whole Sheila playing back, it's an interesting call because they trialled it against St Kilda and it worked fairly well. But respectfully, that was against St Kilda. And then you've got to remember, I said to you guys, or maybe I said it to my dad, or maybe I've been telling everyone this, but I was very nervous going into this game because we haven't had a decent opposition in nearly like 6 weeks of football, guys. Like we had the Hawks twice, we had a week off, we had Saints, we had Adelaide. Like it's been a very long time since we've played real hard competitive football that probably wasn't our own intra-club match. So it didn't surprise me that we were a little rusty in that first sort of, like we were on the back foot a little bit in the first 15 minutes or 10 to 15 minutes of the game. But I just think Sheeran offers way too much to not have her in the guts. I think it's so unfortunate that Boyd can't be there. But I also think a team like Melbourne kicked 26 points on us in the first quarter, which is unheard of, obviously, when we conceding like, 20 a game. And I think Sheeran kicking that goal in the first quarter offers that idea of like how attacking, and she can do both things. She can tackle and run and carry, but she also can be a goal kicking mid. My biggest question now into final selection is probably if Mia King is fit, do we sacrifice at all in someone like Emma King and then play Bogue, Randall, Sheila forward with then like obviously Bruton, Vicky Wall, Bella Eddie and Alice rotating there, and then go in with like the back line being Shannon, Carney, O'Shea, Ferg and Birch.
I actually think that's a good call. It's not something I ever thought about, but I think that's actually probably the right move.
But then I'm also like, God, because I'm looking at when we played Brisbane last time and we beat them up at Brighton Homes by 30 points. Just to be very clear, Emma King did not play that game.
Okay.
We went in with a Sheila, Randall, Bruton, Vicky Wall, Bella Eddie, and then we had, Bogue on the bench and O'Loughlin on the bench to rotate through. and looking at the stats and looking at what we were able to do, I'm just looking now. I think Bogue kicked 3 that game. Yeah, Bogue kicked 3, Randall kicked 2, Jenna kicked 2, Wall and Sheila had 1 each, and then Garner the Goat had 1 as well. So it's like, on one hand, I'm so tempted to get a fully fit Mia, or pretty decently fit Mia King back in and offer another person in that midfield. But then, are you sacrificing structure for that?
I mean, Emma King only played like 50% on the weekend. So
did she?
maybe, she only 57%. So it's not like she was
Okay.
on the ground for that much anyway. So I don't know. I guess we were okay. Or maybe we weren't okay because she wasn't on the ground. I don't know.
Yeah, but it begs the question for me. It begs the question of her role and her purpose. Because here's the thing: if she clunks marks and goes back and kicks set shots, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And also, to be fair to Emma King, the reason why Blahin Bogue gets the third worst defender or the third, up defender is because Randall and King get the best 2. So she kind of offers that sort of protection as well. I mean, look, like for like, and even matching Brisbane's backline as well. It's not, I mean, you've got Taylor Smith and Dakota, but it's actually not a very tall forward line. Like, you've got Kathy Spark plays as like a more small forward. You've got Courtney Hodder and like Conway that can go rotating there. And then Nisa Dooley and Ali Hampson, they're not tall either. So it's like,
so Sheila doesn't need to be back there either. So
exactly.
Okay.
It's just, I don't know. What do you think, Dean?
If Mia King's fit, I think you probably have to play her. But the only issue is I don't know if she'll play in the midfield. She might play as a forward because she has played. If she comes in, you probably have to think it's either Emma King or Kim Rennie goes out of the team. I don't think they'll drop Rennie.
Rennie's not right. Mate, bloody no ways Kim Rennie goes. Sorry, I was about to riot then. No way.
No, but I'm just saying, this is my thinking anyway.
No, I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand.
Look, you're not dropping Sheila. I think she adds a lot more in that forward line. I worry about Emma King if the ball hits the ground. And she had 3 touches on the weekend. She had spells. Look, they took her out of the forward line in the second half. I think it just wasn't working when they swapped Sheila back to the forward line, and she was just as a second ruckman swapping with Rennie. It would be a tough call, but sometimes you just got to go the better player, and Mia King's a better player at this stage of her career than Emma King is. I know you want. Yeah, and I think Emma King, 2 or 3 years ago, you wouldn't even think about it. But, dropping her, I should say. But it's just the depth we've got. Mia King is just, probably the top 15, 20 players in the competition. So, I don't know if you run that risk. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, apparently she was pretty close last week. And they didn't do it. But, and usually the pillars are the ones, the key position players. They don't get any shorter as the game goes on. No. Just like Mia King. And, you got Sheeran, Tripodi, Garner, Riddell as your 4 main midfielders. And then you could probably throw in Mia King for a little spell as well. And then she could play forward, adds a bit more defensive pressure as well. If you need to, if your midfield's struggling a little bit, she's got that bigger body. You could, the second half, you could throw her in there and maybe put Tripodi just for little spells on the bench and forward as well. So, the
only thing is though, like I worry about mix. I mean, we've already picked a midfielder over a key back. Like, we've put Eilish Sheeran in, and I don't have any regrets about that. But we have taken out a defense. Like, we have taken out someone like Boyd for that. She's like, okay, fine. Like, player over structure. If you do that again, are we asking the karma gods here? Because, like, the thing is, anything can happen in a final. Like, God forbid. But, like, imagine we do lose a ruck. Imagine Rennie does go down or something like that. Like, and like,
but you can play Sheila as a pinch.
Yeah, you can pinch hit her. Yeah, definitely. But then the structure of your forward line also completely changes as well. Like, then you've got Randall and Bogue and Sheila pinch hitting. Like it's just, yeah, I don't know. I agree with you, but I also agree. Like, yeah, like you said, they don't get any shorter. Last year, King had, well, she had 16 hitouts. She had 12 disposals. She had a couple of really good tackles as well. She took 5 marks in the grand final. She had 67% time on ground. Like, I just, yeah, I very much worry about kind of tinkering with the structure too much when technically the formula has been working for 26 games in a row now. Like, it's, yeah, I don't think we need another. This is the thing with Mia King. I don't think we're short of a small forward or a half forward here. Like, we've got a lot of depth. If anything, that line is probably the most depth line in our team with like Eddie, Vicky Wall, Bruton, and Alice. Like, that's a decent sort of rotation. So, yeah, I don't know. It's a really hard question. And like, I love Mia King so much. She was one of the first players I got a badge for, and I've always adored her. But I think potentially she might miss out here, just because. Another thing is, like, do you risk playing a athlete that hasn't played how many weeks of football has she not played now?
Yeah, it feels like
Who did she do it
ages.
against? Was it?
I did it. Did it against Richmond. So
Yeah,
that was
Oh.
around.
You're looking at 5 or 6
That was
weeks.
really early, yeah.
Yeah, like
Round 10,
that-
I think. Yeah.
yeah, like that's a decent period off of the game. Is it round 10 or round 11? Hang on.
I think it was
I can't remember
before.
exactly.
I think it was 9. I reckon it was around 9.
Yeah, I reckon it was not. I reckon it is round. It is. It's round 9.
9. Yeah,
So
it's a
she's
long
had
time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She had 6 weeks off of football. Oof, that's a long time.
But she was one of the best players in the comp for those 9 weeks.
Oh, 100%. Oh, no
It's
doubt. The thing that's also tempting me is that she had one of the best games of her career up at Brighton Homes against Brisbane. Like, she was easily the best on 3 votes. So that's another little factor that you've got to kind of add in. But I also just don't. I back our mids against. In terms of Brisbane, I think we've got them covered in terms of Tripodi, Garner, Riddell, and Sheeran. Amazing, incredible. Very happy with that lineup. Like, back them in 10 times out of 10. I really worry about tinkering with structure. But also, we're not Crocker. So,
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, I'll get your thoughts on this too, Jacinta. If Mia King says she's fit, what would you do? But yeah, it's going to be a tough call. I mean, you can argue both sides. Are we too tall with King, Sheila, Vicky Wall, Randall, all on the same team, or do the big key pillars win games? Is Mia King underdone? Are we worried about that? It's a big call. Whatever decision the club go with. So, yeah, because apparently she was pretty close last week. But, Jacinta, what do you think if Mia King says, look, 100%, I've done all the training this week. I'm as fit as a fiddle. I was top 15, top 20 players in the competition. I'm ready to go. What would you be thinking?
Well, when I think back to that game we played Brisbane earlier in the year, it was, I mean, especially that first quarter, it was a lot of up and down. It was a lot of running. So I think Brisbane, I know they tend to only run one way, but they're still running. So I think I'm probably on the King for King swap. I know that it's rough as anything, but I think even I think a 57% on game, on time ground, Mia King is probably going to be more damaging than Emma King at this point, just because it's a final as well. I think, yeah, the mids and those half forward types are probably more valuable to us, to be honest. Because I mean, we didn't even get a goal out of any tall. I mean, I know Bogue is technically a tall, but to me, she's like a mid-size. So
yeah, hybrid, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then when I think back to that grand final last year, it was O'Loughlin and Wall and Craven. Like, it wasn't at all. So yeah, I think Emma King. If Crocker wants to be a little bit, I don't know. I don't know if he's willing to take the risk. Then yeah, I think I would put Mia in. But yeah, again, the structure thing is also a good point that you made, Claire, about how much do you tinker with before
Mm.
you've gone over the edge. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think I'd probably do it. I think I would.
Yeah, I'm 70-30. I probably would. Just our forward line looked better when they took Emma King out of there on the weekend.
Yeah.
Looked a lot more mobile. You got Sheila, Wall, Bogue, Randall. They can all play as a tall. And I don't think they'll go with Sheila in the back line again this week. If she's going to play, she'll play in the forward line. So that's my thinking. And I like Matt King. She's a big body. I like the big bodies when the heat is on, especially in the grand final.
My only thing is fitness, guys. Her last game she played was round 9, and she got 33% time on ground, so she wasn't even a part of it for much.
Mm.
And she's missed 6 weeks of football. I just,
It is a tough call, that's for sure. You can have an argument each way. That's
100%. It's honestly like a 50-50 bet because
it's Lockie Neal all over again, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
you don't have a sub. If she can't play as a sub, that's the only issue. So
yeah, that's the problem.
Nice.
That's honestly the problem.
Yeah, that would be handy. I just think, I definitely agree with you in terms of the potential of Mia King and what she offers is so tantalizing, and it just dangles out there for you. But mixed with the fact that her fitness, her match fitness, for one, going into grand final with 6 weeks not playing, mixed with then also maybe rejigging the structure of that. But then I'm very tempted by the fact that we beat them by 30 points up there with a fast running game of, Jenna kick 2, Bogue kick 3. It wasn't the talls that got it done. It wasn't Randall and Sheila. It was them bringing the ball to the ground and letting the smalls go to work. So yeah, tough calls. But oh well. I mean, look. To be fair, it's such a privilege to have these conversations. This is the third year in a row that we've sat there and we could be nervous and excited and have these conversations because we are in a grand final, and that is a privilege. So I'm very proud of what you do. And I mean, whatever the club decides, I know Croc will have done the right thing. No, I think
that's it. You back the coaches to make
100%. I mean, he's won 26 in a row. How can we not? So, yeah.
Lynn Buss has come in and sort of probably said that she's come with a few comments that me, King, should probably do King for King. Wouldn't do. I just talked about Eliza Shannon maybe coming out, but no, I don't think we'd do that.
No. I am seeing that on the social media. People are saying last. I'm like, have you watched us?
No.
And that's the thing. You don't drop Eliza Shannon. She's been a big pillar.
Yeah,
and she was good yesterday. She was really.
Oh,
good.
she was grouse yesterday. Even I mean, she's so important to us. There's absolutely. I also think of the symbol of her getting another go, getting a chance again. It'll be Sharon's first grand final, Shannon's first grand final, Bo's grand final. There's stories within stories, and I think Eliza Shannon is one of apart from obviously Garner, she's I honestly say she's my second lock. She has to play next week. Albeit obviously injuries and coach, captain's run and stuff. She's a lock. She has to play next week. She's in.
No, definitely. Will be in. I don't think that'll even be a conversation they'll be having right now. I wouldn't have to think. At Patelli 1676 just came with evening Patelli. But obviously the Lions again, and we'll preview the game on Thursday this week because it is grand final week. So I'll do another episode previewing that, especially when team changes come through. There'll be more conversations about that. But do they? Now, I have a feeling I know your answer to this, Claire, but do they pose more of a threat than the D's? I don't think so. I don't think they're as strong as the Demons. We've talked about that in depth a little bit, that even though they've been in first week, I think a couple of things, if it went the other way, injuries, I think the Demons would have got over it. But I guess you've got to respect the fact that they have been one of the best teams in the competition since its inception, Claire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is their 7th grand final. I understand that it's kind of in Australia, we have this whole sort of tall poppy syndrome and no one wants to be, the favourite. No one wants to be $1.10 to win a grand final, myself included, because it makes me too nervous. But I think it's an outstanding program up there, what they've done. I think Starchevich is a really good coach, and he's got a lot out of his players. So it's a testament to what they. And I mean, look, Brisbane as a whole sort of city this year, it feels like next week feels very much like Dean. It's like North Melbourne versus the entire Brisbane and / Queensland as a state, considering Brisbane have cleaned up in every area in terms of NRL, AFL, NRLW. I'm pretty sure they won there as well. So
Yeah, I think they
it
did,
very
yeah.
much feels like well, this is the one piece of the trophy cabinet that we could take away from them. But yeah, look, I really like Starchevich. I really like Courtney Hodder, Ali Anderson. I have great respect for. I still think though, they played Carlton on the weekend and they end up smashing them. It's fascinating. Do you want a really hard opponent and you want to go full throttle like a North and prep yourself that way, or is it better to go into a grand final by having the confidence of smashing another team? It's an interesting situation that both teams are finding themselves in, and I think Brisbane will relish this idea of being the underdog. I don't think they are an underdog. I don't think you can call yourself an underdog when you've been in 7 grand finals. But yeah, it'll be fascinating to see how the squad and what they choose to do and line up again. Because this time a year ago, they scored 1 goal 3 against us, and admittedly from a dubious free kick.
Yeah, downfield free kick. Yeah,
downfield free kick. So it's sort of like, what does Starchevich and what does the group have to change it up? Because in terms of personnel, I think, is it Nessa Dooley, the Irish woman? I don't think she played in the grand final last year, but I think she's the only, I think, personnel change that the club has. Whereas, obviously, we have Bogue, Sheeran, and Eliza Shannon that will be playing in their first grand final, and we've tinkered with our game plan and done all the things. So I'm very fascinated into how Brisbane are going to approach it, knowing full well that the last time that we played them, we beat them up there by 30, and then the last time we played them in a grand final, we beat them by 30. So, yeah, I'm very fascinated to see what tactics they could potentially throw at us, considering that the last 2 meetings that we've had with them, we've comfortably beaten them. So, yeah, it should be interesting. Hey.
Yeah, well, was it round 1 last year? That's when we beat them over in Brisbane, the grand final rematch, quite comfortably. It was about 40 points or something, I think it was. And then beat them in the grand final by 30, beat them this year by 30. So, yeah, you'd have to think another 5-goal win, Claire. So.
Oh, Dean, don't. Oh, my, I'm already like, I can't. Thank you. I love your confidence, but also, it's way too early in the week to be making those sort of predictions. Are you that confident, Dee?
I think we'll knock them off, but I'm probably not as confident that we'll knock them off by comfortably. I think we'll beat them.
Yeah.
But, look, I don't think they're as strong as Melbourne. Melbourne have got they've still got a pretty good list. They've lost some players over the last couple of years. We've got still got those tall pillars into their team, and they definitely made a difference yesterday, especially early. Took some really good contested marks, and on their day, they've shown that they can beat the best in the competition. But they've had some really weird games over the last couple of years too. They almost lost to Collingwood this year as well. They probably should.
Yeah.
And then they've come within a quarter of beating us. So they've been a bit up and down. They definitely got it right at the right time of year, which is what you have to do. But it was a good tune-up for us as well. Like you said, I think maybe the week off maybe threw us an easy first final. We haven't played a tough physical game against anyone for a long time, and a lot on the stake. We had maybe a couple of players coming in that were underdone.
Yeah,
so, I think we'll be better for the run this week.
Yeah, absolutely. I felt like that was a really good tune up, and it just even like going to do like sitting down and doing the Monday review. I think it also gives Croc and the coaching team a lot to look at and a lot to sort of say, okay, well, what's if they do this, we'll do this, and if they do that, we'll do that. And we obviously reacted, and we were able to tinker throughout the game and change things. But in a grand final, you'd want your reaction speed to be pretty quick, because it's a short game. 17-minute quarters is not a long time. So I think it does offer a lot of different opportunities for the coaching team to look and be like, oh, well, if Brisbane do present these difficulties and go down this same sort of strategy, what can we do to counter it? So from that perspective, that's really great for us. And, I looked at the Brisbane game and I've watched it a couple of times, and like, full credit to Carlton for getting there, but they played a much more open and attacking style game. It wasn't as grinding, it wasn't as physical, it was a completely different type of game. So the prep going into the grand final, and I think will be very physical and intense at the grand final. I think we hate Brisbane, they hate us, and I think it'll be a much more heated sort of contest. And now that we have that Melbourne game in the bank, we're better for it, I believe.
Full credit to your girl Claire, Elise O'Loughlin. That handball to Blaheen Bogan last quarter was a very good handball. So that's probably one of the big highlights for me in the game. Jacinta, anything stand out for you in the game like that, a particular highlight or anything like that?
A particular highlight is hard to pick. I was thinking of you actually in that first quarter when Ferguson took that intercept mark, and then, was it a fist? No, I think it was a mark when she crushed the girl in front of it, and then we went forward and goaled, and then it kind of like started our run, our 2 or 3 goal run. And I thought, oh, okay, that's huge. And that was kind of when I thought, okay, now Melbourne won't score again and we'll just kick the next 6 and that will be it. But obviously that didn't happen. But I don't know. It's hard to go past. I think Bogue and Wall in that last quarter were just so exciting. Like, I just think every time one of them was near the ball in that quarter, the crowd just, they lost it. But also I was kind of, in that third quarter, I was looking at Bruden and thinking, I think she's going to do something really magical. She was so clean in that third quarter, and we just couldn't pull it together. But yeah, it's hard to go past Bogue and Wall in that last quarter, and obviously Garner, but that's just obvious. But yeah, I don't know. I just think my love for Bogue has just grown and grown every week, and now it's just like exploding. So yeah, that's all I have to say.
Can you believe she's kicked 25 goals?
Oh,
this
huge!
season?
That's just
25
huge.
goals. Like, that's insane. Like,
First year of football.
first year of footy. Like, oh my days. I mean,
Players, they don't do that. They don't do that in their, in their 10th season of footy, they don't do that.
Yeah. Well, and also just, I think also Bogue, the beauty of Bogue, and she's obviously become such an important player for us as well, is it's the hybrid of her. She's got the height. She took that really good mark. She clunked one on the half forward line and then kicked it off to Wall and got us kind of going. But it was just, she's able to take good contested marks. She's quick on the ground, and then she's good in a contest. Like, she's just so, like, if you had told me a year ago one of our most important forwards, or if not our most important forward, is going to be Blaheen Bogue, and you don't even know her name, and you keep on calling her Blathan, and she's never played footy in her life before, I'm like, are you drunk? Go home. What are you doing? Yeah, I think she was incredible. There was also a really good moment when I just thought Melbourne were peppering away, and Libby took a really good intercept mark. And it was really good, because I think the forwards were getting into Libby all day and just really trying to batter her and give her a hard time and things like that. And I thought that mark was really just like a nice symbolic, like, okay, let's steady, let's pick out a target, and let's just go again and try and find, take a bit of pace off the ball and try to sort of get the tempo back on our terms. So there were so many different moments I thought that were really good. Even like Riddell's clutch goal, that set short, I thought was just, I was like, great kick, great goal. I think the W Awards are tomorrow night, and I think she's going to go home with a medal, which is huge. Do you think that she could win it, guys? Do you think she could win?
Yeah, I think she will.
Yeah, she should, but yeah, I mean,
you never know.
Yeah, look, we've been asking for Garner to win it for the last 3 years and hasn't even come close.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, and I mean, look, it could be one of those situations where, like, and no disrespect to her, but like someone like Ella Roberts could win because no one can take votes for her. You know what I mean? Like, it could be up in the air. I hope she wins it. I know I know it's not. She doesn't play for medals, and she'd much rather have a
No.
flag. But I think it's richly deserved considering the season that she's been able to put together. So, because she's now like, I mean, we always knew that Garner was a mid that played forward that could kick goals, but now we can pretty much lock in that if Riddell's near goals, have a ping, because chances are you're a damaging like mid. I think that's another thing that North have up their sleeve. Obviously, Sheeran kicked a goal on the weekend. Garner, Riddell, like our mids are so damaging around the ball and around the contest, but then they sneak forward and then they can do the damage on the scoreboard as well. And I think that's such a huge thing up to have up your sleeve as well, like a different way of attacking. So, what was your favourite moment of the game, Dan?
It's probably after the game when I seen Sarah Wright running through
Aw.
the
Did you?
Yeah,
How was
I couldn't tell because I was so far away, but then I realised once I got a bit closer, I realised, it's Sarah Wright. And then she hugged Ferguson, and that was an iconic moment for me. So I really like that. And that's what brings, and that's the main thing about football. It brings people together. Now, I'm not going to go too much detail, but Sarah Wright struggled probably in the last 6 to 12 months with a few things. And, for her to, be there for her teammates, even though she's not playing. And to see everyone just run up, Bella Eddie, Jasmine Ferguson, they all ran up to her and gave her a hug. And I think that means a lot.
Yeah.
And it's really special. And that's what football clubs are about. It's not always about winning premierships and all that sort of thing, but things like that, it keeps people going and it makes people feel valued and, it brings everyone together. It brings supporters together. And, so that was really good. It was only this time last year that Sarah Wright was playing her career best football as well. But it doesn't always mean, everything, especially when you got things going on inside your head sometimes. And, it was definitely my highlight anyway to see something like that. So hopefully she's there. Hopefully she's there next week as well. And, going to give another hug to all the girls as well. So, with Kano, the iconic.
God, he was up and about, wasn't he? he was a cat on a hot tin roof. He just kept on striding around the ground. I was like, mate, your Strava data would be out of control right now.
Look, it's one of those things like when you're nervous, and I don't know, like when I used to play cricket and I was out and I was waiting for we needed to win a game like 30 runs off 30 balls. I couldn't. I hated watching it when I was if I was out there batting, I was all right, but it was out of my control. And sometimes being out of your control makes things worse. And
100%. 100%. I would much rather be out there and have some sort of say in it as opposed to, kicking back and having to watch it. And I think it was like a famous cricketer, maybe like A.B. de Villiers, or maybe I think he was a South African cricketer. That was like when he bats, he's like, I just wait and I go in when I'm told, but I do not watch a single ball. It makes me too nervous. And I'm like, no, that's an interesting approach. I get pretty antsy as well. Like when I watch the men, I'm cutting laps of marble because they're just too nerve-wracking. But normally I don't have to do that with the women's. I just sit there and sit back on the Arden Street Hill and cruise in and just think, okay, is it 10 goals today or is it 15? So obviously it was a bit different for North supporters on the weekend, but it was very memorable. It did remind me a lot about the Adelaide prelim that we played, that we thought, Adelaide were kind of getting on top of us. They were playing better and we still found a way. And I think, like Crocker says, the body of evidence that we've put together over the space of 2 years now is, and this is such a hard thing about sport, right? Because it reminds me of the 2008 grand final in the sense that Geelong was the best team all year. They lost one game to Collingwood, and then, obviously touch wood, we don't want to see this happen again, but they lose a grand final to Hawks on the day just because Hawks are playing better footy on the day. And it's one of those things where we know unequivocally, given the past 2 years, North Melbourne is the best football side in AFLW at the moment. And it feels a little crazy that we're even going to have a discussion that they could not be, based on the fact that for 4 quarters they might not get it done. And I understand that sport. Like, there's highs and lows. That's the point. You've got to have something. You've got to have risk for reward. But to me, this season, no matter what they do in the grand final, I still truly believe within my heart they are the best football side in the AFLW at the moment. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
do you guys kind of get that? Just does it make sense? Like, I just feel like I understand that's professional sport, and we play in the format that we have finals and we have a grand final, and the best team wins. But it's pretty evident when you win 26 in a row that you are the best football team going around.
Well, that's what was making me so sick on the weekend, because I was thinking we could lose this, and then for the rest of our lives and those players' lives, we're just going to be thinking that's the one that really like got away, like that 97 flag. Like you just,
Yeah,
you
the
just,
96 flag.
yeah, you just can't stop thinking about it, and that's what I
No.
was feeling sick, because I was like, for the rest of my life, I'm going to think about this, and I think that's part of the issue. But yeah, I get what you're saying, because we would know that they were the best team that year, but if the history books won't like reflect that at all. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you
it's
guys-
really weird.
It's weird. Do you kind of get like, as in Dean, from the sense of like, and 97 is probably actually a perfect thing because the amount of points that will like all that sort of thing, and it's just it's one of those things where like, you know, there's so much glory in a flag, and there's a part of me that I think the reason why we won 24 is because we were so spurred on by the fact that we were robbed of 23, because you
Yeah.
know, obviously Jenna goes down, you know, they come over the top of us in the last quarter to win it, and they end up winning the 23 grand final. We get our redemption 24. 25 feels like, even before, I know this is obviously very biased take, but 25 feels like even before we've even bounced the ball, I know within my heart of hearts of trying to objectively take away all the ones and zeros and everything, I'm like, we're a better team than them. We just are. Like, we are. We deserve it. We should win the flag, given what the body of work that we've put in for the last 2 years, and it makes me so nervous to think that it won't be capped off in the history books because we might slip up, or there might be some mistakes, or do you know what I mean? Like, it's just it's crazy. I don't know.
You got to trust the process, and and look, they've always been, and you can sort of tell that they're about the process, and the results will take care of themselves. And it even happened on Saturday. Look, they fell 3 goals behind. People were already saying, "Oh, they're choking." Yeah, right. Like, you know, what choking
Yeah,
is all
true.
about. They're just Twitter trolls that have got nothing. That just look at the score and think, "Oh, they're choking." But it wasn't choking. Melbourne got off to a good start, and
Yeah.
their process is the reason we got ourselves back into the game. And we kept at it. And then in the last quarter, they trusted their process, and it got them over the line. The scoreboard took over care of itself. Oh, I mean, you've seen the movie Moneyball, and Oakland A's broke the record for most wins in a row. But everyone remembers the last game they lost. So that's just the nature of sports. It's based on wins and losses. It doesn't change anything. This is still a fun team to watch. It has been for probably the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
And chatting to the girls and getting to know them on the podcast as well has been a lot of fun. So yeah, it's I'm emotionally invested in it, and not just because I've built a relationship with AFLW players, but because I just like the way they play. And I recommend anyone, if they get a chance to go down to Arden Street next season, just watch what they do. If you go near the interchange bench, they never stop talking. They communicate, and one of the most important things in anything in life is communication. And these girls are endless with it. They never stop talking. They never stop communicating. You could see yesterday they didn't drop their heads. They were still talking. Things weren't going their way. I understand that, but Emma Carney was still communicating really well. Ferguson was doing it, and so forth. So it really is a fun team to watch, and that's the most important thing for me. If we win a premiership, great. If not, it still doesn't change anything. That I still love watching them, and I'm sure I'll still love watching them for the next however many years. I'm alive for anyway. So
it's definitely, you're right. It's definitely a privilege to consider what they've been able to do and how they play their football, and how as a football club they've actually they've raised the standards of AFLW. Like, even the game yesterday, like, I had neutral people who don't normally talk to me about AFL be like, "Oh, that was a really good game." So it's like they've done so much groundwork to get the sport up and about and get it to where they want it to be as well. So like, I definitely admire that as well about them. But yeah, so it's just, I think it's the nerves that take over. It's the nerves that, you kind of, and I guess that's the thing. If you're not nervous on grand final week, If you're not then you're not living. Like
Yeah, of course not. Yeah, 100%. It's just
Yeah.
such a shame that our joy is brought by if you win or lose rather than actually how a team plays. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
based on at the end of the day, like Dennis Pagan always says, you're judged on your wins and losses and nothing else. And
Yeah.
sometimes it's pretty shallow way of looking at things. So,
Mm.
but yeah, it is what it is. I think Limbus came in. I think. Talking about 98 grand
yeah.
final, I think you will, not 97. Patali sort of that's been a North thing. We always fear the worst. Yep. Well,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to the men's. He's as nervous as hell. But yeah, we'll definitely preview the grand final come Thursday before we talk any more about that. But Claire, do you know what time it is?
Oh my God, we've got it. It's back. Let's go.
The crowd have gone wild. So a lot of comments coming in tonight. So it's good to see. But this is a different trivia tonight. This is talking about unique statistics for each individual and whether they've done it or not in their career or not. So I'll start it off and you'll understand more. But there's a few Jasmine Ferguson ones.
Classic.
So,
As
course.
per usual. Yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Jacinta. So, has Jasmine Ferguson ever had a clearance in her career? Yes or no?
Yeah, surely she's bombed the ball out from the back line. Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
In a
Yeah.
clearance? So,
Yes,
at a stoppage
yes.
clearance, okay.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah.
What about you, Claire?
She'd be close to how many games? She's close to 50 games by now. No,
she's over 50. She's 60,
yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah,
64.
But she's very like man on man. Like she's very like she. Look, I like for the sake of the theatre, I'll go no. Jacinta goes yes. So then we can kind of, create a bit of rivalry between each other.
Have it out.
Jacinta.
We'll have it out.
Yeah, we'll have it out.
Joffrey Archer versus Trevor said here. Claire?
Oh, no. I am wrong.
Yeah, you're wrong. She has had one in her career. It was against the Brisbane Lions in 2024.
Put her in the middle this weekend. Put her in the middle.
Chuck her in the middle.
Yeah, let's experiment. Yeah,
I mean, who
dominates them?
Who's not going in the middle at this point? Like we're playing in there. We're playing Isla Sharon, we're putting Jazz Ferguson. Yeah, look, no, I'll take that. I'll take that on the considering that Dean, we're 1-0 in the Ashes, we're in a prelim.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take that any day of the week.
Well, we're in the grand final actually, Claire. So.
Oh my God! Sorry, it's been a long 24 hours. A lot of things have happened. Anyway, sorry. All right, 1-0 Jacinta. Fair enough. Yeah. I'll take that on the chin.
All right, let's start with you this time. Has Jasmine Ferguson ever had a goal assist in her career?
Okay. No. I'm gonna know, but nah. I don't reckon she has.
Okay. What about you, Jacinta? What do you think?
I mean, my instinct is also no, but again, for the theatre, and then I think 60, 60 plus games, maybe. I'll just say yes. I'll say yes.
Well, Claire, you're back on track.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, she has not. No, she hasn't. So, now this one. Is Jasmine Ferguson's career disposal efficiency over or under 80%? I'll go with you, Jacinta. You can start.
Over. Surely it's over. It's been over 90 every time I've looked this year.
Yeah, I agree with Jacinta. I'm going to have to go. I mean, she did get pinged on the weekend, though, Dean. Did you see it? I thought of you when that happened. I was like, oh, Dino will not be liking that highlight or low light, rather.
I must have missed that, Claire. I didn't
yeah, you know what? You block out trauma. Everyone
actually, you know what? To be fair, he wasn't even there at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I wasn't there in the first quarter. I watched I watched the first quarter, and I'll fast forward that part.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's
bullshit.
Yeah. You're like, that's bullshit. They should not even be able to touch her.
They should edit that sort of stuff out if they're going to make
100%.
That was AI generated, Claire.
It was AI generated. You are right, Dean. That you are bang on there. No, I think what was the question? Yeah, she's not had an assist, unfortunately. And it was disposal efficiency.
Over
No,
80% or under.
yeah. No, she goes higher than 80. She averages higher than 80. That woman knows ball. So I'm gonna, for the sense of, I'm gonna go with Jacinta on this one because I don't like to lose.
Yeah, no. Don't sacrifice that one.
Yeah, don't sacrifice it for the theatre. I'm just gonna say she definitely gets over 80 for sure.
Well, girls, both correct this time.
Yeah.
80.2, so it's just over.
Oh,
Yeah, a little bit surprising. So, but yeah,
maybe
good
that's
enough.
AI too.
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't seem right. It seems like it should be closer to 100%. Then, yeah,
I agree.
But what's Linny? Linny's coming. Dean wouldn't ask this about Ferg if it wasn't yes. So yeah, okay.
Oh,
True.
yeah, cool.
Yeah,
Fair call.
yeah. No, look, that's all right. So I'll go to a midfielder, Ash Riddell. Now, Ash Riddell has kicked 19 goals in her career. Has she kicked more goals than behinds in her career, Jacinta?
No, unfortunately, no. I feel like she's missed a few, especially in those early years.
Okay. Claire, what about yourself?
Can you tell me how many goals in her career she's kicked, please? Again?
19 goals.
19 goals. No, I'm going to back her in. I'm going to back her in and say when she pings, she pings. So I'm going to say she's kicked more goals and points, please.
Claire, you are wrong this time. So 19 goals and 30 behinds in her career. So.
Jeez.
Ash Riddell, what is that disposal efficiency? That's terrible. No wonder why she hasn't won an AFLW award. You need to get
That's what it is.
Ash Riddell.
The goal umpires don't notice her. That's why.
Yeah, well, that's
part of
it.
the problem.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
So Patel is actually Patrick Allwood that's coming into the chat. So yeah, he just told me now. So I'm sorry, Pat. I didn't realise it was you, but yeah, he said it sounds fancy, that Patel. Okay. Well, it's good to hear. So we'll keep moving forward. So we're going to go to the GOAT here, Claire. Has Jasmine Ferguson ever had a hit out in her career?
Can I just backtrack a second? Can we call Jasmine Ferguson the GOAT when Jasmine Garner literally plays on the same team as her? Like, I don't know.
I thought
Did
he
I
was
say
going to say
Jasmine Ferguson?
Jasmine Garner. I really did.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Jasmine Garner.
Okay. I was like, okay.
Yeah, it is supposed to be
I'm like,
Jasmine Garner. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
was this a throwback to when Dean called Jasmine
I've just done it
Garner?
again, so I don't know.
Oh,
I can't get Ferg out of my head. So
You know what? It's grand final week. Everything's fine. It's
Yeah.
play on, fair bump play. We're all very excited. So is Jasmine Garner? What was the question again? Sorry.
has Jasmine Garner? I was going to say it again.
Yeah.
Has
Yeah, there we
Jasmine
go.
with Jasmine
Oh,
Ferguson? Has
Garner,
Jasmine
the-
Garner ever had a hit out in her career?
Yeah, I reckon she has. I reckon she's tried to pinch hit something. Yeah, I wouldn't. And like, fair enough as well. Allow it. She's the GOAT. So I'm gonna say yes to that. It's an interesting call, but I will say yes to it.
Okay. What about you, Jacinta? What do you think?
yeah, I would say yes too. But is it so boring if I say yes?
No,
No, I'm
you
going to
can
say yes.
say-
Sorry,
You're up.
No.
You're up anyway, so you can hold a tidy lead here. Don't stress.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm saying yes. She's in enough. She's in enough of those bounces. She's got to tap the ball at some point.
Well, she's had 2 in her career for the
Ooh.
Pies in 2018.
Oh,
Yeah, so none at
Wow,
North. So
okay.
none at North, but 2 at the Pies. So, yeah. All right.
I
Go.
honestly think that's I block out same like you block out anything that bad that Ferguson does. I kind of block out Jasmine Garner's career before North. I'm like, did it exist? No.
There's only
No.
14 games anyway, so yeah.
Exactly. We're like, nah. She's gonna be a lifelong North supporter. In fact, it would actually piss me off so much if when she retires, ideally never, but when she retires, if they put like Collingwood and North Melbourne, I think I'd be like, please do not put Collingwood next to that name.
Almost insulting.
It is right, like, and for some reason, it's the same with Carey when he retired. It was obviously North and Adelaide, and it really just bugged me. And it still kind of does, like not as much, but it's a weird little, I don't know, fact about. There's something doesn't sit right with that. But anyway, whatever. Back to the trivia. I apologise. We both got a point, which we
That's
love.
right. That's right. All right. Before this season, and Tess Craven has had 2 running bounces this year. Had Tess Craven taken a running bounce in a career before this year?
Oh. Actually, sorry, Jacinta, you start.
I lost track, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So you're just throwing it out there, hey?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I genuinely do think it's your turn, to be fair.
No, I think it is. No, yeah, I reckon she has. I think she's run out of the goal square and taken a bounce. Yeah, I'm going to say yes.
Oh, yeah.
Claire, what about yourself?
Yeah, that's actually a very good shout by Jacinta. I do think surely she's had a little step toe. Although, don't you kick it to yourself and then you get like 15 steps or whatever?
But not anymore. Now you bounce it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah, true. Why am I thinking? Was it Cooper Harvey that did that a couple of seasons ago?
It was.
Yeah. And everyone was like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I forget that was a whole thing. Like, that's what you actually legitimately had to do. Yeah, no, I'm going to lock in 100%. She did it for sure. Yeah, she's definitely had a run and bounce.
Well, you're both right this time, girls. She had 1 only in her career before this year. So,
Jeez.
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
A little bit surprising, but it's she's had a couple this year. I can't remember who they were against, but I'll have to keep an eye on that. So we'll go to your favourite player this time, Claire, Elise O'Loughlin. Now, has Elise O'Loughlin ever had a centre clearance before?
Oh, a centre? I mean, stoppages, sure, but centre, I don't think I've ever seen her in the middle of the ground. She'd be lost. But the funny thing is, you could definitely see her space cadetting out and just wandering to the centre bounce. And it's like, yeah, all right, I'll have a crack. In another life, she could be such a good mid. I think she could be so much fun in the middle. Nah, surely not. Love Alice, love her to death, but I don't think I've ever seen her in a centre bounce in my life watching her. So I'm gonna lock in no. And if it's true, that's crazy, and I need you to find me the footage of it if it is true.
Okay. Well, what about you, Jacinta?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's one of those crazy if true type things. Yeah, no way. No, I was shocked enough seeing Bella Eddie in there this year. If O'Loughlin was there, I'm sure we would have noticed.
Yeah.
Well, girls, you're both wrong.
What?
Elise O'Loughlin has had 3 centre clearances in her career.
No way. When? Were they this year?
No, it wasn't this year.
Okay.
I think it was a couple of years ago. I'd have to look. It was all in this 1 year. So she must have played in midfield at some point.
Oh my days! I'm going to need to find this footage.
Well, maybe ask her when you see her, Claire. So
no, yeah. I mean I love her to death, but I think she'd just be like, if I asked her that exact same question, she'd be like, "No, I've never played in the midfield." Like, you know, like she'd be one of those players, you know, like I was the type of player that I knew how many stats. I knew everything about myself because, well, A, there wasn't many, and B, I was a narcissist. Whereas I think I would say all those North girls would have no idea and have no care in the world. As soon as they step off the field, if they've won, they're like, cool, we don't care how we win. We just cared that we won. Like, I don't think any of them actually would legitimately care about the statistics or know anything about each other. But yeah, I can't wait.
Needs to be found.
Yeah, that needs to be found. If anyone is out there,
I just need to see that. That's crazy.
100%. So do I. Again, if she ever move clubs, I'll cry. I'll openly.
Well, she re-signed this year, didn't she, for 2 years? So.
Yeah, and I think they're all.
20.
She's contract, but she's a kid. She's so young as well. Like, it's crazy to think that, like, we got Gat, Craven, Tripodi, Smith, all these kids are, like, playing in their 3rd grand final, and they're like 22 years old. It's insane. Like, anyway, that's a crazy stat, Dean, and I'm definitely going to need to find someone to get me the footage of that because I'd love to see it personally.
Yeah, I might have to have a look into that. Last one. Now, Jacinta, or your turn this time. Has Bella Eddie taken a contested mark this year?
Oh, this year. If it was Korea, I would say yes. But the only thing I think about is that with the women's, I know they're a little bit more lenient on the contested marks. I'm going to say yes. Yes.
All right. What about you, Claire?
Yeah, I reckon she has. I reckon she stood up and taken like a 1v1. She's got a bit of she's got a bigger upper body now, so it wouldn't shock me if she's been able to do that. So yeah, I'm gonna lock in yes as well.
Well, girls, you're both right this time. So I remember seeing it. It was on a half-back flank. It was a get-out kick, and someone came in late, but she took a nice strong mark. I can't remember. It was a few weeks ago now. So I actually remember it. So
was that the game where she had like 25?
I don't.
That one, she was everywhere.
She was. Well, she would have been playing midfield. So
yeah,
because it was on a half-back flank where she took it. So
yeah, right.
I tell you what, Sportsbet are just dining out on that game because every time they do some sort of preview, always within their multi, they're like, "Oh, and we think Bella Eddy over 15 because this one game she played where she got 25," and I'm like, "Are you guys for real? She's not playing in the middle anymore." I'm begging you. I'm like, you are robbing people blind with this multi, guys. It is not going to work out. But yeah, I mean, to think that she can play in the middle in the future years to come, when obviously Garner and Riddell retire after 10 years and win another 5 flags, that's pretty exciting.
Definitely.
Then she's allowed in after the 5 flags.
Yeah, after the 5 flags, Bella Eddy, you get to play midfield.
Once the other girls have had enough, which is fair enough. And that'll get us over the men's program with 4 flags.
Exactly. Yeah.
But that'll be good. Well, that's it. That's all the questions. I don't even know who won. I lost track of the score there. So I think, Jacinta, you might have got Claire.
Nah, Jacinta pinched it. Nah, Jacinta always pinches it. She knows. She knows the stats.
Well, grand final week.
It's okay.
Here.
We're all winners this week.
We are all winners.
Yeah. Right. You can't. It was definitely not complaining, but it is grand final, and it's here this week. Claire, any final messages? I'll have to get you back on Thursday to preview the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Just keep your superstitions up this week, guys. I'm a big one with the numbers. 11-11, go North, go Roo girls. Always, I had my mum's banana bread for some reason on grand final day. I had a whole bunch of that, and we won the grand final. So I think all the supporters out there, I think you should go about your routines, wear the same undies if you need to. Do your regular things. I don't know about you, but Dean, you've got me on Strava. I'm always doing runs and I'm labeling them under North players. So if I go for a 5K, it's Tess Craven run. If I go for a 6, obviously Alice. Like, just stick to your routines, stick to your superstitions, stay positive, enjoy. I think, like we said before, it's a privilege to be in a grand final. These things don't always happen. So obviously soak it all in. Read all the articles, listen to all the podcasts. It's such a beautiful week in sport for North supporters. So get amongst it, and we'll be back ideally on Thursday to preview the game and see. I guess tactically go through how we are going to win our back-to-back flag, which I can't wait.
No, it's a good message to finish off there, Claire. It's definitely an exciting week. Shout out to Neil McKenzie, a 2000s cricketer who used to have big superstitions before he went out to bat. He was a middle order batsman. All the toilet seats had to be down at one stage. I heard about this. A certain door had to be closed or something like that. So.
No, that's OCD. That's not even superstitious.
You could probably go to ChatGPT and look up Neil McKenzie superstitions, and you'll find a bunch of them. So, he was, but he wasn't a bad batsman. So,
yeah. Do you guys have superstitions, or are you normal?
No, not really. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be, I guess. So, what about you, Jacinta?
I used to be so bad that I used to cause myself physical pain, so I had to really talk myself out of it. Like, I'd be at the footy and if I was sitting on my hands and we were winning or whatever, then I could not move my hands from that spot. And then when I finally did, they would just be blue. So I had to really work on that one. So I've really tried to not. But yeah, you are. I mean, we were losing the first quarter and I said to my friend, we have to move seats. So it's still there. It's just not as painful, I guess.
But like, to be fair though, did you see? Like, did it make? I mean, I guess it made a change because we got up, like we were leading for a bit of the second, or was it the third? I think it was the second when Riddell kicked the goal. We climbed back up again. So,
Well, that's
I'm
the
like,
thing. It gets reinforced, doesn't it?
yeah, exactly. Oh, 100%.
It's justified.
It's
Yeah.
justified. It's nuts. I also think it's one of those things where you're like, it's like we were saying before, you want to feel like you've got some sort of control over the game because it feels pretty crazy that you can sit there and let your emotions just like erupt like that. So you want to believe that you're a part of it. But I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it keeps it interesting. And yeah, I mean, it's so funny because like it's just like the cool, calm, and collectedness of the players, and here we are, like in the stands, you know, doing witchcraft to try and summon a win. But yeah, no, looking forward to the week, looking forward to all the media and the content to kind of get around, and being a pretty big cricket fan as well. It feels like kind of a double whammy at the moment. We're 1-0 up at the Ashes. We're in a grand final. Like I feel like I'm in a peak. I'm peaking at the moment with the amount of content that I'm watching and I'm absorbing of the teams that I love being successful. So yeah, just enjoying the ride and seeing what happens. And yeah, hopefully we'll come together on Thursday and have a great crack at and a good analysis of a match preview, and we'll go from there.
No, that sounds good, Claire. Claire, thanks so much for coming on tonight.
Always a pleasure, Dino. Thanks for having me, as always.
Jacinta, thank you very much for coming on. Hopefully I'll get to chat to you on Thursday.
Yes, I hope so. What a great weekend.
It definitely was. Anyways, I'll be on Thursday to preview the girls' grand final coming up. Very exciting week ahead for the club. Just ask Claire how exciting she is. So get behind the girls. Try and get in early for the grand final tickets. I think they come out around 10 o'clock tomorrow. So just keep Ticketmaster open if you want to go to the game, if you are a member. So we do get access. But, yeah, definitely get behind the girls in any way you can. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff to help the show. That's it from me. Thank you to all listeners. Thanks for everyone participating.